1941, a state of war.
What General Vagon had called the Battle of France was over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin.
We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills.
Hey guys and gals, this is Alden from the Mosin Crate. First things first, I can't discuss how much, where to buy one, how to buy one, any sales related questions here on YouTube because they will delete the video. But if you go onto rumble.com and you search for the Mosin Crate, the same username I have on here, you'll find this same video on there on my page with a different voiceover where I can and do answer those questions. So getting right into this video, this is going to be a really long video, so grab your beverage of choice. It's going to be about a 15-minute long ride here. Got a lot of imports, military surplus, police surplus guns that came out of Israel. Now these were imported about 2 or 3 months back, so well before the current events happened. You know guys, guns are tools. I'm not going to get into any of the politics. Anytime I mention a gun is from Israel, I always have someone foaming at the mouth in the comments, talking about Palestine and all that. I do not care. Point of this video is just to show off the cool guns that are imported out of Israel. So the first ones here, these are all Jericho 941F models. These are in 9mm, and these are basically a CZ75 with an Israeli twist to them. I really like these. They're all metal minus the grips, which are obviously polymer. They are heavy guns, but they're also very accurate. They've got polygonal rifling, both double action and single action. I'll go ahead and warn you guys, I'm going to do a ton of dry firing in this video because it really annoys the dry fire Nazis out there. This group of 5, these seem to be in really nice shape. I'd say very good condition overall. Import marking is going to be there on the bottom of the trigger guard. And these are IMI marked, which are a bit more collectible than the new IWI marked pistols. We have some Spanish Star SS pistols. And on the bottom, I think it says SIS, but they're pretty much Star SS pistols. Basically, these things are like a baby 1911. They are in 380, single stack. They've got that beautiful Bakelite type material grips on there. You see this one's got some scratching in the finish on top of the slide, but overall I'd say these 4 are in very good condition. I don't get these in very often anymore, and when I do, they're not in this nice of shape. And I will say, if you ever get one of these, do not remove the grips, because over time, basically these grips have shrunk for one reason or another, and if you take the screws out to remove the grips and then try to put them back in, there is a good chance you will not be able to get that those screws back in. So just leave the grips on there. But absolutely beautiful bluing. And more or less this model goes back to around the World War II era where these were very popular with pilots. Now the 4 that I've got in front of you here, these are all probably from the 60s or 70s, somewhere in there. Really cool little pocket handguns. Back before pocket handguns were really a huge thing. All right. And then we've got to the Mossad marked pistols. So all of these are Italian-made CZ75 clones. You may notice on this channel I almost never have Czech CZ75s, and that's because I think the Italian-made ones are just better. So these are made at Tanfoglio, and they are CZ75 clone, and I just think the fit and finish overall on these is just nicer. So why get the Czech when you can get the Italian-made, which is a bit better. Again, that's my personal opinion. It's going to upset a few people that are Czech loyalists out there, but I just like Italian guns. All of these are Mossad marked. And if you don't like the grips on these, on any of the CZ75 clones, or CZ75s in general, there are a ton of grips out there. Aftermarket grips, actual surplus grips. You can swap them out if you don't like them. If you don't like that wood and you'd prefer like polymer grips or rubber grips, very easy, very cost effective to find those. Then we also have 4 of the compact models in that nice silver color. Now 3 of these are that matte silver, and then we have this almost chrome colored one there, or chrome plated one rather, which is a factory option. I think it's actually polished stainless, but we'll just call it chrome. I love the compacts, great size. They are still a beefy handgun because they are all metal except for the grips. And then we have the beautiful blued full size. I've only got 4 of these. The blued ones are always highly sought after, especially if they're in nice shape like this, because a lot of times when you find them, they got a lot of wear. And like I said, these came out of Israel a few months ago, back before this whole mess started. I'm not saying this as a sales tactic or anything, although it does work in that way. I am not sure how much more Israeli surplus we're going to see in the immediate future, just because of what they have going on over there. They're going to want to keep all the guns that are in their nation there. So maybe, you know, once this stuff quiets down in a year or two, we'll start seeing more. But I really don't think we're going to see that much. Personal opinion, don't see that much more Israeli surplus in the near future. And we've got 4 blued compact models. And these 4 are in really nice shape. The grips have some wear to them. There may be a little bit of holster wear here and there. This last one, I would say, this is probably the worst one in the group, just because it's got some holster wear on the front of the frame and slide. And this is one of the things I like the most about the Tanfoglio CZ75 clones, is because that finish is absolutely beautiful. You won't find that bluing on a Czech CZ75 unless it's a very early CZ75, and even then I don't think it's going to be that nice of a bluing finish. And you just don't really see that on handguns these days anymore. The Czech CZ75, I know I'm bashing them, guys, I'm sorry, but Czech CZ75s, they have that like kind of enamel paint finish on there. It just chips off, and when you get a chip in it, it is ugly, and I just love the bluing. I'll shut up now, I'm sorry. Then you see the finish wear on this one here. Again, this is probably the worst one in the group. It's still overall very good condition. And we have some Colt Commanders, combat Commanders. These are all in 9mm. I'm of the mind, why would you want a 1911 in 9mm? It kind of, I personally wouldn't want one, but if I was going to get one, it would definitely be one of these, because the finish on them is beautiful. They've got those really nice Colt grips. And looking at the serial numbers, now I'm not going to say this is for every single serial number, but the ones I've looked up have all been from the 1970s and 1980s, so back when Colt was still Colt. And if you go on Google, you can actually research the serial numbers. If you go on Google and type Colt serial number lookup. The Colt website, a lot of times they'll have a search bar on their website, if you Google that you can input a serial number for a Colt firearm and it will tell you when that firearm was made. Not all the serial numbers are on there. It won't work 100% of the time, but all the ones I've checked from this list, there's a little scratch in the slide on that one, have shown up. And like I said, it's been from like the mid 70s to the very early 1980s. This one here has a nice slide and frame, but it does have some wear on the front and back strap, as you can see there, just from handling over the years. That's probably the worst one in the group, for sure. And it's actually the first time I've ever had these in before. Really haven't had the opportunity to see these imported in the past, so not exactly sure the backstory on if these were police department guns or if these are military guns or what the deal was. Also have 3 of them. These are probably closer to good shooter grade condition, just meaning they have a lot of cosmetic wear. But a lot of people like that battle worn finish, so like I said, these are good shooter grade condition overall. And this last group, all of these are interesting in one way or the other. So this first one is a Beretta 1951 model pistol, 9mm. We've got a South Korean Daewoo DP51 in 9mm. We've got another Mossad, kind of a battle-worn finish on it. And we have a couple beautiful Beretta 84 BB Cheetahs. These are probably the 2 nicest ones I've ever seen imported, surplus-wise anyways. And we have a Mandarin Walther PP. So this Beretta 1951, I think just because those serial numbers look hand-etched to me, I think this is probably one of the first 10,000 made, because I think the very early 50s they had low production numbers until about 1956. So I think this is a pre-1956 pistol. I couldn't find a date code on it or anything. You notice the cursive MM in 9mm on there. And I think that's a very early feature. I think the grips were later changed because those are like 1970s or 80s grips on there, but that's an early pistol. We got a Daewoo DP51. Show you the triple action feature there again. Another Tanfoglio Mossad, just with some interesting worn finish on it. Then we have a couple double stack Beretta 84 BBs. These are both in 380. And like I said, you do not see surplus imported in this nice a shape often. These two are absolutely beautiful. And if you thought that one was nice, this one here, this one is just amazing. There's a little scratch on the grip. There's a little bit of wear on the magazine floor plate. There we go. But other than that, I mean, you could not want a nicer looking pistol. I mean, that's as close to as it left the factory, minus the import mark, which, by the way, if you don't like that import mark, you can use a magic marker or something like that and conceal it really well. And then we have a French-made Walther PP. And this one's in really nice shape too, but it looks like it did have some old rust on the barrel there. I'm thinking, you know, some Croyle and bronze wool or something would clean that right off. But these are really nice, especially with the nice brown grips on there. You don't see that too often. Or when you do, they're cracked or broken. And then I also have some World War II, 1942 and 1943 dated German 8mm ammunition. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. Be sure to click to subscribe because I have a lot more military surplus videos to come before Christmas. Thanks for watching.